Congratulations, you have decided you want to buy a motorcycle. Riding a motorcycle is an exhilarating experience, but can also be quite challenging, both physically and mentally. Before you jump right into this adventure, you need to ask yourself a few questions. What kind of bike should I get? What is my budget? Can I physically do it? And probably the most important, why do I want to ride? But before you do anything else, I highly recommend taking a basic instruction course such as the one offered by the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. The MSF course is designed to give you the basic knowledge to get you riding safely and start developing good habits on a motorcycle. In my opinion, this should always be your first step. Besides, after completing the course, you may decide motorcycles are not for you, and it is better to figure that out now before you're stuck with a bike you don't want to ride. There are a bunch of different types of motorcycles out there, many designed for a specific purpose. So, what kind should you get? The type of bike you should look at depends on what type of riding you want to do. Do you see yourself taking long cross-country trips? An adventure or touring bike is probably going to be the most comfortable. Are you planning on simply riding around your local area? Well, a cruiser might be for you. Personally, I recommend the Honda Shadow, but I am a little biased. With their low center of gravity and low seat height, they are quite maneuverable around town. For those of you that want to go fast, you might want to look at a sport or a naked bike. Now these are designed for one thing: speed. Compared to their cruiser counterparts, they are not only lighter, but typically make more power, have more performance-oriented suspension, and better brakes. Now keep in mind, it's pretty easy to get yourself in trouble with these things, so if you do feel the need for speed, please save it for the track, and always obey your local traffic laws. Last but not least, for those that like to get dirty. Well, there's always dual sports, and of course there's always a dirt bike. Now, dual sports are similar to dirt bikes, but usually come equipped with headlights, turn signals, and other road-ready requirements so they can be registered for street use. Sounds like the best of both worlds to me. So you know what kind of motorcycle you want and are ready to head down to the dealership and pick up a brand new shiny bike. Well, if your budget allows it, then go for it. Just remember though, we're talking about your first motorcycle. It's going to get scratched, dented, dinged up, and every little imperfection on your brand new pride and joy will be absolutely heartbreaking. You want to go used. Used motorcycles are generally less expensive, and they've already depreciated in value. Now, most of the time, you're going to end up with a gently used machine that probably spent more time in someone's garage than out on the street. Plus, there's a good chance, when you get tired of it in a year, you'll be able to sell your beginner bike for just about what you paid for it. And don't think you need a ton of money to get started either. I picked up my Honda Shadow 750 for $2,800, and my Suzuki Katana was even less at $2,300. Now, both bikes have been fantastic and have needed nothing other than basic maintenance. What you do need to spend some money on is some decent gear. If nothing else, you need the best quality helmet you can afford. Notice I didn't say most expensive, I said best quality. Just because a helmet costs $1,000 doesn't mean it's any better than a $300 helmet. What you want to look for is one that is not only DOT rated, but one that is ECE rated as well. The ECE rating is a requirement for our friends over there in Europe, and it's much stricter than the DOT requirements here in the United States. And next on your list should definitely be a decent motorcycle-specific jacket, a good set of gloves, some decent riding boots, designed specifically for motorcycles, and a good set of riding pants. At a bare minimum, you need the helmet, jacket, and gloves. Now, most people estimate you will probably spend about $1,000 for a good set of gear, which may sound like a lot, but ask yourself this question: how much is your life worth? When it comes to riding a motorcycle, you need to make sure you are up to the task. Unlike riding in a car, a motorcycle is a very physical activity. It also requires a lot more dexterity, not to mention core strength. After all, you are literally fighting the wind. You need to be in relatively decent shape. Now, I'm not saying you need to have muscles on top of muscles, but you need to at least be able to balance the motorcycle and pick it up if necessary. And yes, you will drop your motorcycle. We've all done it, and they are heavy. Riding a motorcycle also requires a lot of mental focus, as you have to constantly scan for threats. These include, but are not limited to, road debris and distracted drivers. It can be exhausting. Now, there are advantages, though. Did you know that you can burn up to 100 to 300 calories per hour riding a motorcycle? Not to mention, riding is an excellent stress relief because you don't have time to think about anything else. You have to focus on the road. You have to be 100% in the moment all the time. And lastly, why do you want to ride a motorcycle? Is it to save money on your commute to work? Motorcycles do get excellent gas mileage. My Honda Shadow 750 averages about 50 miles per gallon, and my Suzuki Katana gets at least 40. Or maybe it's because they're cool. Movies and TV have always glorified characters on motorcycles with films like Easy Rider, Terminator 2, and shows like Happy Days as just being all around cool. And I'll be honest with you, I still wish I could be like Fonzie. For me though, it's the sense of freedom. It's the sense of danger that comes with rolling along the earth at 60 plus miles per hour, hovering less than 3 feet off the ground, relying solely on your instincts and abilities to keep you safe. Riding a motorcycle is exhilarating and some of the best fun you can have with your clothes on. So if you're thinking about getting a motorcycle, I say quit thinking about it and just do it. My Honda Shadow has already taken me places I never would have gone otherwise. I've met people I never would have met without being on a motorcycle, and I'm just getting started. So if you like this video and wanted to hear how I started out on my riding journey, check out this video right here. And as always, be safe, y'all. See ya!